Yo, what is up, YouTube? It is Zeta TCG here, and today, to start off, I do want to apologize to you guys about not uploading any videos recently. I am a senior in high school, and if you have been in high school or are in high school right now, currently, you do know, um, or you may know, I should say, you may know. The struggle of taking AP classes or advanced classes that they get you college credit. Right now, I have been studying very hard for two AP classes that I'm taking right now in high school, and right now I just really don't have time to make videos. I found time though today to make one of two videos. The next one will be uploaded real soon, um, and you know on the topic of what I'm going into, if you haven't taken a college class or I'm sorry, not a college class, but a college level class, I should say, in high school, you definitely know the grind of trying to study for AP exams and try to get college credit. So definitely you know what kind of situation I've been in these past couple weeks, and I hope you guys truly accept my apology here. I do want to make videos. I enjoy making videos. I enjoy talking about a lot of things, video game related, Yu-Gi-Oh related, Destiny related, etc. But it's just really hard right now for me, to try to put out a video once a week or twice a week. So I'm going to give you guys two videos this week. So I'm going to go ahead and start off what I'm going to be talking about in this video, and I'm going to be talking about what I expect at the Electronic Entertainment Expo, otherwise known as E3. E3 is a very big annual event held in June in Los Angeles. If you don't know, basically what the event discusses is it discusses a lot about future games that are going to be coming out, even sometimes on the scale of announcing consoles or announcing new innovation and new upgraded consoles, like what I'm going to be talking about here in a little bit in regards to Sony. And yeah, I just want to go into a detailed list, or not really a detailed, but it is a list of what I want to see really bad over at this year's E3. So I'm going to start off with one developer slash publisher that apparently, from what I've been hearing, never has done much in E3, and that is Rockstar. And the one game in particular I am talking about with Rockstar is the Red Dead series. I am very much ready to play a new installment in the Red Dead series. I enjoyed Red Dead Redemption very much. Red Dead Redemption does rank as one of the best games I have ever played in my life, up there with The Last of Us and even The Witcher 3, and a bunch of other games. It is a really great game. If you haven't played Red Dead Redemption yet, you need to get out from that rock you have been living on, or under, I should say, because gosh dang, that game is so good. And a brand new game, a brand new, a sequel to the second game based off of, I'm not going to say which character, so I don't give out spoilers to people who haven't played the game, but the next installment in the series, hearing some form of news about the next installment would be just great. Just even it could just be a little taste, even just like a little sample taste. It doesn't have to be actual gameplay. It can be just like a trailer. You know what I mean? Like just a little taste, just a little, and that's really all I really want. And if Rockstar does that, man, I'm gonna go nuts. A lot of people are gonna go nuts. Next up on my list, I have something to talk about in relation to this game a little bit. Um, and when I say a little bit, I want to talk about the developer, and that's Naughty Dog. I hope Naughty Dog also gives us, just a little taste on The Last of Us 2. And they did, from actually, I heard it was like in like a video, I believe. I honestly can't really remember. But in a video, or in like, it was a video or a live stream. I'm starting trying to like, kind of like gather my thoughts here about what was it. But I think it was either a video or a live stream. They actually did kind of like confirm it straight from the horse's mouth kind of thing that there will be a sequel to The Last of Us. And if they put in the amount of time and effort as they did in the first one, oh man. Go ahead and call it right there, man. I mean, that's gonna be definitely a Game of the Year candidate right there. And a sequel would be amazing. I already know. I mean, the first one was really good. People thoroughly enjoyed the first one. I haven't talked to a single person or heard of a person who didn't enjoy it. And man, you already know. It's just going to be another great game put out by Naughty Dog. Third up on my list, I have some Destiny talk with Bungie giving us a roadmap for Year 3 that will go into Destiny 2. And on top of that, I want to know really bad if Bungie is going to put out Destiny 2 on PC. And putting Destiny 2 on PC is in their contract with Activision. If you didn't know this, you can actually search up you can actually search up I'm trying to think legal documents. Yeah, there we go. You can actually search up legal documents on the internet if you didn't know this. And they actually have to publicly put out legal documents by law through some act. I can't remember the name, but they have to put out legal documents such as contracts made between two separate parties like Bungie and Activision. So you can look up the contract between those two, and you will see that for the second Destiny game that Activision wants it to be on PC. And if Bungie does put Destiny 2 on PC, that game will automatically not only increase sales on Activision's end, which is what Activision wants to do with Infinite Warfare, trying to put Modern Warfare Remastered with Infinite Warfare for an extra $20. But on top of that, Destiny's community will just grow significantly, because putting a game like Destiny on PC, I already know from my own experience, will significantly improve the game in my mind. Because not only is Bungie going to try to put out visual advances and try to make the game not only look good but also play good and feel good, but on top of that, Destiny 2 can finally be the thing that Bungie needs to actually, bring Destiny into a point where Destiny is finally a game that people will stop just shitting on. And, people have their reasons to hate on Destiny, and that's fine. But Destiny 2 is going to be a hit or a miss for not Activision, but for Bungie. And Bungie needs it really bad. So that's what I want to see with Bungie out of E3. Provide us with the roadmap, not a mode map, for Year 3, and give us just some more information on Destiny 2. That's all I want. Fourth thing, I want to hear from Sony. Once again, kind of a straight from the horse's mouth kind of thing on this PlayStation 4.5 or Neo. People kind of have mixed emotions, mixed feelings about the PlayStation 4.5, and that's fine. That's 100% fine. Um, but the positives and the negatives from both sides kind of balance each other out. And I feel if Sony can announce something and give, the public something to work with, or some sort of a feeling of like, hey, the PlayStation 4.5 is starting to sound like a better idea the more I hear from it from Sony, and the reasons why they're doing something like this. Then Sony could definitely, improve console sales with this PlayStation 4.5. But obviously, the one negative to this that I do not want to happen is, having these quick time periods of jumping from, generation to generation of consoles. The last generation's console lasted from 2005 with the Xbox 360 all the way to 2013. That's pretty solid, if you ask me. We don't need it though being shrunken down from 8 years to 3 years. That does not need to happen whatsoever. So if Sony can, provide more insight, a little bit more insight, then that would be great. That would be really good. Next up, going into Call of Duty a little bit, I want to know what Infinity Ward is going to do with Infinite Warfare. I really want to know. I'm a little curious. I'm a little intrigued. And the reason is because it is based in space. It is space warfare. And if you guys haven't watched any of my earlier videos, I do mention a couple of times that I did play, in some fun competitive matches in Killzone 3, which is based like 200 years in the future, and there's definitely some space warfare in that game, and there's definitely, sci-fi elements for sure. And that's what I want to know a little bit more of, because if Infinite Warfare is in any way or form, have a similar feel to Killzone 3, man, I may just buy Call of Duty again. But not only for also the Modern Warfare remaster, but also because, I wanna finally, get something to do. Stop having that feeling of not having, a game to turn to whenever you just want to like take like a big shit on opposing players in an online FPS. But yeah, I want to know a little bit more about Infinite Warfare. I want to know what Infinity Ward is trying to get at here. And if you were to ask me on my opinion right now between Infinite Warfare and the also recently announced Battlefield 1, Battlefield 1 looks fucking good. It looks very good. I've never played, a COD or a Battlefield that's been in World War One, and I definitely want to give it a shot. I mean, why not? I mean, because yeah, World War One wasn't all that interesting because trench warfare, and the fact that they just try to like shoot each other from long ranges and throw like a bunch of mustard gas and whatnot into the trenches and just try to like straight up kill people and suffocate them. But if DICE can add their own little twist, they got something to compete with, and that's something that I will take interest in. And because DICE definitely looks after their PC market, unlike Call of Duty with Treyarch, Infinity Ward, and Sledgehammer, they can really, take a huge audience away from COD, and that could be the deciding factor of what's better. And if DICE plays their cards right, and if Infinity Ward doesn't, DICE just got better. But from what I've learned from last winter, by pre-ordering the new Battlefront, is that I probably shouldn't pre-order another game from them again. simply because of the fact that Battlefront sucked. I don't play that game. I haven't played that game in a long time, and I thought pre-ordering it, I'd have that, that nostalgic feel from Battlefront 2 for PlayStation 2, and nope, not at all. I don't see it. I don't feel it either. So that's something I want to see, and I want to see. I want more info. I want more insight, and I want to know who will come out on top in the fall of 2016. But anyways, let me move on to my list, guys. I'm almost done. Next up on my list, I have Guerrilla Games, also relating to Killzone. I want to hear them bring more gameplay for their new game, their new IP, Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn looks really good. It looks very good. And any game that Guerrilla puts out, they already have my money. I mean, I love Guerrilla Games. I mean, they got me into a competitive scene, even though I never made a single dime off of playing competitive in Killzone 3, because all we really did was just well, I can explain it later, but basically what makes me call myself a competitive Killzone player was that I went up against some of the very best through online type of ways, I should say. I can explain it all differently in a later video, but not now. But Horizon Zero Dawn does look very good, and Guerrilla Games is definitely one of my favorite developers, up there with CD Projekt Red and many others that I can name of. But I do want to see more gameplay, and I also want to see a release date. I definitely want to see a release date. Next up, BioWare with Mass Effect Andromeda. They give us more. I want to see more. BioWare, they have been getting a lot of heat from what I've been hearing, because apparently, according to a lot of people, from 2014, Dragon Age Inquisition did not deserve Game of the Year. And I agree with them 100%. I don't think it deserved Game of the Year in 2014. I think there was other deserving games. I can't think of the one off the very top of my head, but Inquisition did not deserve Game of the Year. But on top of that, if BioWare can get Mass Effect Andromeda right and actually fix, the below average ending from Mass Effect 3, then BioWare has something here, and BioWare can definitely continue Mass Effect with its own spinoff. And BioWare needs to do that, because they are not on a good standing in my mind with a lot of their fans, except for the LGBT. But that's a topic for another day. We don't get into that. Okay, well, that's what I expect to happen at E3. However, this is what I want to happen, but it may not happen. I have 3 things I'm going to name off here, and they all relate with some developers I mentioned earlier. First one, Rockstar. They give us, some confirmation that an LA Noire 2 is going to happen. I loved LA Noire. I absolutely loved LA Noire. LA Noire is one of the best games I ever played as well. And LA Noire, there needs to be more police type games that can almost be on a very similar scale to LA Noire. And if LA Noire 2 is gonna be for real, then they have my money. That's all I can say. And also, on top of that, I also want to hear them give us, just a little bit of a hint of GTA 6. I want to know where GTA 6 is going to be held at. I heard 2 possible places. One may be from, just from people editing things on Twitter, and another is from articles mentioned. And that's Rockstar once considered um, putting GTA 5 in Tokyo, but they realized that the streets of Tokyo were really difficult to try to, come up with, and well, I shouldn't say come up with. I should say they were difficult to allocate, so to speak, which makes sense. It makes 100% sense. But the other city I heard of was the city I reside in. I live in Houston, Texas, and if there's gonna be a GTA in Houston, oh my god, I would definitely buy it. I'd definitely buy the game on the spot, because Houston is the greatest city on this planet. I mean, you can tell me any other city's the best, and I'll say, well, come to Houston. I'll show you what we got. Next up on the list, goes back to Guerrilla Games, but Guerrilla gives me and their fan base hints of what's going to happen next with Killzone. Killzone Shadowfall was obviously a game that was just an entry game. It wasn't the best Killzone. In fact, it's probably among the worst. Killzone 1 had a better story in my mind, and it's definitely not better than Killzone 2 or 3. But the next Killzone, whether they call it Killzone 4 or if they call it a sequel to Killzone Shadowfall, hopefully they can maximize on it and make it better and try to go back to their roots. I want to know what happened to Shevchenko, because they didn't mention his name once in Shadowfall. I want to know what happens to Shevchenko. So yeah, last but not least, this is going to be a definite, a almost definite. I even considered putting this on what I expect, but I don't think it will happen just yet. I think Bethesda will do an independent, so to speak, a independent event for this, but you may never know. And I believe Bethesda should announce Elder Scrolls 6. It's been 5 years since Skyrim came out, and ever since, Skyrim has still been played, to this day by many people. I still have friends on my Steam list who go back to that game every now and then. But I think Bethesda has kind of surpassed, their timeline. If you look at if you look at the amount of years it took from the release date of Oblivion to the release date of Skyrim, it's like a 4 or 5 year difference. I mean, hey man, I think it's time to put out the next Elder Scrolls, and I'm definitely ready for it. I definitely am ready for it. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and conclude it right here, guys. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, as always. If you like my video, go ahead and subscribe to me for more video game videos such as this one, where I talk about what I expect from big events such as E3, any Xbox events or Sony events. If you want to go ahead and let me know what you think should be announced at E3 or what you expect at E3, let me know in the comments below. I definitely want to communicate with you guys. However, if you think any of the games I named are terrible or don't deserve to be announced at E3, let me know. Maybe you and I can sort of, I wouldn't say deal our differences, but I would definitely say, I want to try to convince you as to why I think this game should get a sequel and whatnot. So, we'll go ahead and call it right here, guys. Thank you so much for watching as always, and it's going to be your boy Zeta, signing out.